Everybody, I'm once again requesting that you ensure that the area you are in right now is as safe as possible, okay? No sharp objects, nothing that will kill you if you ingest it. Make sure your room is suicide-free, okay? Make it very hard for you to kill yourself because you will experience a unbelievable urge to end your life as you're watching this. Please don't. Once again, safety word is pomegranate. Get ready.
I think you've got a confession to make. You're fake news.
You are fake news.
Well, Trump was making America great. Where were you when you tried to resist? And me and you. Yeah, Trump is getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you. Yeah, Trump keeps getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you.
I'm gonna give you guys a breather, okay? Get that razor blade away from your wrist. Stop it. Get that razor blade away from your wrist, guys, okay? All right. I want you to imagine if anyone in the left made songs like this about like with this degree of quality, like a massive left-wing figure, like Crowder-sized, made a song about Biden or Bernie or any other like Democratic candidate. It just doesn't happen. The reason why this kind of stuff exists, why there is so much deification of Trump, is because, as we all know, the right is very fascistic in this country. Our right wing in America is really far right. Even people that are considered moderately right are not that far away from fascism. And a huge aspect of fascism is a identifying of a leader and deification of that leader. Creating statues of them, art of them, constantly praising them, and even making songs about them. It's a cult of personality. A cult of personality. Now, is this exclusive to fascism? No. It is one of many different criteria that a political regime has to meet to, qualify to be fascist, right? But it's going to become very apparent here just how much Crowder wants to fuck Trump. It's actually pretty crazy.
These 4 years were just a sneak preview. Can I get your attention for some breaking news? The polls are already tightening. Prepare to lose. Your nursing home come.
Reminder, Biden's doing really well in the polls. Biden is doing really well in the polls, unironically. Oh, nice. Just want to let you know, Crowder has said he wants everything to open back up. He has the same opinion as Ben Shapiro does. Ben Shapiro wants everybody to go back to work and for the coronavirus to burn through everybody. That's the wording he used. More or less killing off all the weak, and those that are alive would supposedly have herd immunity, and corona would be over. He would have you killed for the economy. So that's why he's demonizing Cuomo here, because Cuomo did a big shutdown of New York City and saved a lot of people's lives. Except he did some dumb shit with nursing homes that got a bunch of people killed. But we're just gonna ignore everything else. We're gonna ignore the fact that because of Trump, hundreds of thousands of Americans have died from corona. The funny thing is that Illinois, I believe that's Illinois, right? That's Illinois, right? Or is this Illinois? That's Illinois, right? What state is this? Michigan? That's Michigan, right? That's Michigan. Yeah, I'm okay. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut? No, this is Connecticut. This is Connecticut. What is this? Pennsylvania. Yep, yeah. Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Michigan, and California all have lower COVID death rates than proportional to their population of other states. The reason why these states have such high deaths, despite the measures taken to social distance and keep things shut down, is because they have massive cities in them, and thus really dense populations. There's no getting around extremely heavy COVID deaths, no matter what precautions you take, unless you have armed military roving down the streets and shooting anyone who leaves their house. When you have that dense of a population, it's impossible. New Jersey, pretty dense population, pretty high population. New York City, or just the state of New York in general, fucking duh. Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, a lot of big cities in Pennsylvania. Michigan has something, I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure there's some big cities in Michigan. Anybody know? Detroit? Yeah, I guess Detroit's in Michigan, yeah. And California obviously has LA, San Francisco, San Diego, Palm Springs, where I am, and a bunch of other fucking large cities. So of course there's going to be higher death rates here. Of fucking course. But, and data backs this up, proportionally to the population there is less deaths than you would expect if they took no measures whatsoever. This is essentially a very, very malicious way of twisting the data and the stats to try to make it seem like these states that did, lockdowns and took measures against COVID are doing worse. Even though blue states are ones with big cities that have higher populations. Okay. It's fucking stupid. Crowder's an idiot.
Things you can take for more, yeah. The list of views.
One of the main reasons I hope Trump loses is so I can see how these people react, okay? We have one last chance to see how Trump supporters will react when Trump loses an election. If there's some way, shape, or form, which I think is very, very unlikely, manages to win, we will never get to see how these people react to Trump losing. That would be really unfortunate. I really want to see these people all have collective mental breakdowns online over Trump losing. It would be fucking insane. I really want to see it. I really want to see it.
'Cause Trump is getting the best of you. Yeah, Trump is getting the best of you.
Hot take: Crowder's singing isn't that bad. Honestly, if he wasn't like singing a song meant to like fucking suck off Trump, he's not that bad a singer. He's really not. He's not that bad. He's not. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. I could not even get close to singing that well. Like no way. I don't have the vocal range to even somewhat sing. He's absolutely a better singer than I am, and I can't judge. I can't go, oh yeah, Crowder's such a terrible singer. I can't do that. Like, that would be throwing bricks from glass houses, okay? I'm sorry. I really can't. He's pretty bad. I mean, he's not great, but he is, like, probably better than average when it comes to singing, okay? Let's be completely honest. He is better than average when it comes to singing. Let's be honest. Guys, come on. Come on. He's awful? I don't know. I mean, it's not great, but he's better than you would expect at singing.
Rebound unemployment rates. It's real. The market's healed. You're crushed.
Really? Is it now? The unemployment rates are really low right now? When did this come out? $15 ago this came out. 15 days ago this came out. The market's great right now. Unemployment's real low. Things are going great. The economy's healing. Really? You can't give Trump credit for the economy that he destroyed with his garbage response to Corona. Now, the stock market's doing okay right now because Trump refuses to shut down the economy, but the American people aren't really benefiting from that much. I mean, if you own stocks in these companies, maybe you're doing really well, but how many Americans do you think make enough to own stock in like Apple or Google or anything like that? Oh no, Captain Sparkles is a better singer than Crowder, okay? Most, like Crowder is not as good at singing as most Minecraft song parodies. Let's be real, okay? But he's better than you would expect. These people act like Trump is Jesus Christ himself. They really do. This is just literal, flagellating of Trump.
You must confess, yes, Trump is getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you. Now it's time for confession, my friends. Your fake news.
Let's talk about the fake news things. Captain Sparkles didn't sing in his... No, I know Try Hard Ninja was singing in most of Captain Sparkles' parodies, but Captain Sparkles would interject to do rap parts often. Often he would do that. And he's unironically a decent rapper. Fake news. Trump's biggest effort, if we're being honest, throughout his entire presidency, is trying to delegitimize the news media. Now, is the news media pretty fucking dumb at some points with like the like 24-hour news cycle and everything like that? Yeah, it does that, right? Because it's a business. That's the unfortunate part of a privatized news industry. But it is the job of the media to hold the government accountable and inform the people of what the government is doing. Because we live in a democracy, or something approximating a democracy, and that's getting eroded more and more as Trump remains president. The people have to be aware of what's going on to be informed when they vote. The whole point of America's government is to be controlled by the people, by the citizens of America. That was the goal of the founding fathers of our country. And it's the media's job to inform the people of what the government's doing. So when you have Trump, who's trying as best he can to delegitimize the media, to make the people not trust the media, that gives him the power to do and say anything, and the people will ignore the media. For example, Russiagate has more or less been all proven right. There isn't any perfect direct evidence that Trump went out of his way to collude with Russia to go to like fuck over Hillary Clinton, but what we found was many people in Trump's cabinet, Roger Stone most notably. I watched a legal video summarizing everything last night. Roger Stone and many other people within Trump's cabinet went out of their way to conspire with WikiLeaks, the guy, what's his name, Julian Assange, to hack the DNC and get those emails leaked in order to fuck up Hillary Clinton's reputation. People in Trump's cabinet literally conspired with WikiLeaks to leak those emails. Julian Assange, who was working with the Russians. And Trump went and pardoned Roger Stone, the person responsible. And there is evidence, though it is hearsay, legally speaking, but logically, if we're all being honest here, it's pretty obvious. Like legally, it's hearsay. But if we're being honest here, we know there are several conversations, phone calls that happened between Trump and Roger Stone that very likely involved Trump being made aware of the collusion going on, the Russian collusion. So yeah, for the most part, Russiagate was proven to be true. However, Trump, with his fake news line, was able to more or less absolve himself of this to most of the American people. And to this day, people still say the Russiagate hoax, even those on the left, just because Trump did such a good job of covering it all up. That is part of Trump's entire plan. Delegitimize the media as much as possible, ban them from coming to the White House, call them fake news, turn the people against the group or the apparatus that is meant to inform them about the bad shit that the government is doing, that he's doing.
Are you ready to lose again when Biden poops? You can try to resist, but you will lose. My terms are sort of like Twix, my friends. They come in twos. 'Cause Trump—
God, like the overconfidence is what really makes me hope Trump ends up losing, because then we can go back and watch this and be like, okay.
Trump is getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you. Yeah, I keep getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you. Yeah, Trump keeps getting the best, the best, the best. I'm besting you.
So that is what we call unironic simping. Unironically, it's simping. Well, that was utter nightmare fuel. And I hope all of you are alive after that. Are you all okay? Hypers, if you're okay. Are we good? Nobody killed themselves? Xander Hall, funny how he showed Border Patrol as the best while committing actual genocide. Well, of course he did. Oh, gotta... Come on. Yeah, the smoke fixes the blur because it makes it refocus. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what they want. They're cheering on the genocide. Can you imagine if a bunch of Justin Trudeau fans made a song analogous to this, and it showed natives being like taken off their land to build an oil pipeline? Can you imagine that? How can you even like begin to comprehend that? Because that's the equivalent of what's happening here almost. It's a cultural genocide, or a literal genocide. It's more of a literal genocide in our case with Trump. But with what's going on in Canada, it's a cultural genocide, and in some ways a literal one. But here, we're literally keeping people in cages, forcefully sterilizing them against their will. They aren't being like told what's going to happen. And we're separating children from their families, despite the fact that all the data, even right-wing economists all agree, that even illegal immigrants commit less crime than native-born American citizens. They benefit the economy, and would benefit the economy even more so if they were just given citizenship, just given social security numbers. They can pay income tax. Right now, they're still paying taxes. They're paying the ones you don't need a social security number to pay. Property tax, or if you're renting or you own a house. Though I don't think, I think you have to have, most of them get fake social security numbers, like ones that other people have for jobs. They end up paying into that. Like each of their paychecks ends up going to the government through like social security, like through the fake social security number they use to get jobs that aren't under the table paid. A lot of them have to get under the table work because like they can't get their hands on one. They also have to pay taxes for sales tax. They have to pay gas tax, I believe. Like if they buy gas, property tax. There are only a few. There are a few things you can buy that aren't taxed. Like I think diapers and whatnot aren't taxed, but most things that you buy are taxed. Yeah, so they're still paying taxes, but they aren't paying like an income tax. Like at the end of the year, you have to fill out like for me, it's a 1099 because I'm a small business owner. This is considered my own business. Yeah, if we just gave them social security numbers and made them citizens, they'd end up benefiting us more than if they were illegal immigrants. And even while they're illegal immigrants, they're still fucking helping out the economy. And they're committing less crime. The crime that's coming in from Mexico are from heavily, massively funded, organized cartels with the help of corrupt individuals in the Mexican government. That's the problem. If we invest in Mexico, make up for our fuck-ups which made Mexico the way it is, and rooted out the corruption in the Mexican government, and help make Mexico a more wealthy country, which we would benefit from as well, then all these problems would be solved. But they can't do that, because the Republicans, especially Trump, are racist. They hate brown people more than they care about our country doing well, because they don't really care about America doing well. Do you think, like, they actually give a fuck about America? Like, as a concept, like the people in America. Do you think they really give a fuck? Do you think Crowder cares if 1 million people die from COVID? Do you think he's going to change his mind and say, well, okay, we got to close the economy now. Clearly this isn't working. Do you think he cares? Ben Shapiro literally said, and I know Crowder agrees with this because they talked about it, he wants the lockdowns to end, everything to go back to normal, and for, quote, the virus to burn through everything so everyone has herd immunity. That would be eugenics. Effectively. You kill off the old and the weak, and everyone else that survives supposedly is better. Literally eugenics. That's what these people advocate for. This Trump flagellation is literally a fascistic cult of personality. And it's fucking insane. And it's very cringe.